Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to David Ornstein from The Athletic, Solskjaer remains safe from the sack at Manchester United despite his team's stuttering form. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still has a lot of credit in the bank among board members. Now the pressure has mounted on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after Manchester United's 4-2 defeat to Leicester at the King Power Stadium. It was the first time we lost away from home in the Premier League since January 2020. Manchester United are now winless in their last 3 league games. Solskjaer did admit that bad decisions caused the 2 late goals in the defeat to Leicester. Solskjaer has ran out of excuses. Revert back to what I've said before. Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad, so in reality we should be winning the Premier League this season. But the problem is, we're not playing as a team, we're playing as individuals, like Gary Neville mentioned earlier on this season. Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer, the Glazers backed Solskjaer, John Murtough backed Solskjaer, and Darren Fletcher backed Solskjaer, and Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Aston Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. If results carry on the way they have been, I think Solskjaer will be sacked by Christmas. I can't see Solskjaer being Manchester United manager at the end of this season. Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United to basically save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Well, we know Solskjaer's ambition for this season, and that's to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer signed a new contract in the summer until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and revert back to what I've said before, we made a mistake giving him that new contract, because I can assure he won't see it out, and a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge of Manchester United. But there's just a lot of Man United fans that I've got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. Plus, Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Ollie did manage the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. Ollie had a proven pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies as a player for Manchester United. Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. But revert back to what I've said before, we'll always love Solskjaer because he's a legend of the club. But I just feel as though that he's in a position he shouldn't be in. I just think the job is far too big for him, and the expectations are far too high for him to exceed. You know, if we do decide to sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? Well, obviously Antonio Conte is available. Obviously, there is some Man United fans that want Conte to replace Ole. And there's also some United fans demanding Zidane in to replace Solskjaer. If Solskjaer does get sacked, he'll be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson. We've already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. You know, Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager. You know, in the summer of 2019, Ollie recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Edison Cavani, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. In the summer of 2020, he got 4 of those players on deadline day. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We've spent 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's loaned players out. He's also got rid of players permanently. He loaned a few players out in this year's summer transfer window. We loaned Ethan Laird out, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. The players Solskjaer's got rid of permanently, obviously in the summer transfer window, offloaded Daniel James. He was the only player we offloaded in the summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Ollie also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. Ollie's also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. In January, Solskjaer got rid of Igalo, Rojo and Fossa Mensah. Solskjaer's also got rid of players like Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, Fellaini. He left back in January 2019. Also offloaded Angel Gomez and Herrera. He offloaded Lukaku and Sanchez. So they're the players he's got rid of permanently. Did I mention them all? If I didn't, that's the vast majority of them. Some progress has been made under Ollie because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, and last season got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager, so there you go. Last season Solskjaer got us a second place finish, and in his first full season he got us a third place finish. Revert back to what I said before. What Solskjaer produced in his first full season, his second full season, he's trying to build on that this season. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. That's a positive, and Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. Not all of the blame stems from Ole following our inconsistency. Ole's accountable for certain things, but there's obviously some players that have got to take responsibility, because there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. Solskjaer, he's not going to replicate what Ferguson did. No manager is going to replicate what Ferguson did. Not in my lifetime, anyway. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson enjoyed a 27-year tenure at Man United, so he was a very long-serving manager, but a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. Our squad is worth around £805 million. You know, we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo did start against Leicester yesterday. He had a couple of chances, but for the vast majority of the game, he looked anonymous. You know, Ronaldo wasn't getting the service that he should have got. Don't get me wrong, Ronaldo's done really well since he's re-signed. So far he's scored 5 goals in all competitions. Prior to the game against Leicester, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench in the 1-1 draw with Everton before the international break. Neville did mention that Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer. After Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton, he stormed down the tunnel. Solskjaer got heavily criticised for not starting Ronaldo against Everton, but Solskjaer did say he had no regrets over not starting him. Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. And during the international break, he scored the hat-trick for Portugal against Luxembourg. Earlier on this season, he said Ronaldo wants to retire at Manchester United. Then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing at Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo's 36 at the moment. Ronaldo has already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week at Man United, so he's the highest earner. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. You've got Marcus Rashford. That's a good player. Rashford scored on his comeback against Leicester yesterday. It was Rashford's first appearance since the Europa League final last season. Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and don't forget he did have to have an operation on his shoulder. The other week, Rashford scored twice in that behind closed doors game against Blackburn. We need to keep Rashford on the left wing, like I've said before, because that's where he's mostly effective. Rashford is far superior on the left to the right wing and up top. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. You've got Jadon Sancho. That is a good player, but he's endured a very bad start to his Manchester United career. But I've said to you, it does take some players time to settle in. And I've said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. The problem is Solskjaer's not using him correctly because Solskjaer's playing Sancho out of position. He started him on the left yesterday against Leicester. He's not a left winger. Yes, he can play as a left winger, but he's far superior as a right winger than a left winger. Earlier on this season, don't forget, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho for 78 million, with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. You've got Edison Cavani. That's also good. Cavani didn't play yesterday against Leicester because of personal reasons. Cavani did play against Everton before the international break. But Cavani, his hold-up play is good. His movement in and around the box is good. He creates chances and he scores very good goals. Cavani initially lost his place in the team with us re-signing Ronaldo, but obviously we're considering a formation change, which will allow Ole to play two strikers, and I presume it will be Cavani and Ronaldo. I think Cavani will leave Man United next year. Can't say I want him to leave though, because he's made an impact since he's come in. Cavani's got under a year left on his Man United contract. He was back in May. He signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani is on over £200,000 a week. Well, earlier on this season it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. And I presume Barcelona will reignite their interest because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window, but Romano came out and said that Cavani would not be leaving Man United, he'd be staying. You've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very good. Greenwood scored against Leicester yesterday. It was a stunning goal as well from Mason Greenwood. Could have had more than one goal because he had some other good chances as well. I think there was one chance where he hit the post. Greenwood's got 4 goals in the league so far this season. Most of the time Greenwood plays on the right wing. That's where he's mostly effective. Don't forget, at one point though, Greenwood went a while without scoring, but despite that, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. But he deserved the contract, reflecting on his good performances. You've got Bruno Fernandes. That's also very, very good. He put an average performance out yesterday against Leicester, but despite that, Fernandes got the assist for Mason Greenwood's goal. There has been quite a few games where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace, but in a lot of games at Manchester United, he's been very consistent. Last season, Bruno Fernandes won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. He's been at Manchester United now for almost 2 years. Earlier on this season, it did mention that Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Fernandes predominantly plays as a number 10. You've got Donny van der Beek. That's a good player. But I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United, because Van der Beek hasn't been given enough game time. Again, Van der Beek played no part against Leicester yesterday. We decided to play Matic ahead of Van der Beek. I can't understand why. Not so long ago, Solskjaer's private view on Van der Beek became public. Solskjaer still believes Van der Beek has an Old Trafford future, despite his lack of game time. But Solskjaer has to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer after he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal, and it said Van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Ferdinand. Fabrizio Romano, though, not so long ago, revealed that Van der Beek is planning to leave the club in January. It said the other week that Donny van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for him now. Newcastle want Van der Beek, I heard. Juventus not so long ago held talks with Van der Beek's agent over a possible January move. Barcelona have been in for him, and Everton remain interested in Van der Beek. That's what it said from Sky Sports News the other week. Everton were close to signing Van der Beek on loan, but Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Paul Pogba, he's also very good. He played against Leicester yesterday. Didn't really do much. Paul Pogba, though, has enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists in the league. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained a few ankle injuries at Man United. Now, the Daily Mail recently said that Real Madrid are ready to offer Paul Pogba 12 million a year in wages and the 25 million transfer bonus. as Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola is pushing his client to join Real Madrid. Spanish publication AS recently said that Real Madrid are back in the race to sign Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. Real Madrid think Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join them next year. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him before, and a couple of years ago, Pogba spoke about Real Madrid and his relationship with Zidane. During the international break, Pogba refused to rule out a Juventus return. Pogba did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. And earlier on this season, Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. League 10 Sports said not so long ago that PSG are ready to offer $500,000 a week in wages to Pogba if he decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG wanted Pogba in the summer transfer window, but they couldn't get him because PSG got Lionel Messi. As you all know, Lionel Messi is leaving PSG because Messi recently did a tearful goodbye in a press conference. I heard he's going to Newcastle, Lionel Messi, which is a surprise. And recently, Pogba was offered to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so reflect on all of that. Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Andy Mittens from The Athletic recently said that Man United have offered Paul Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Manchester United. It would see Pogba become the second highest earner at Man United. At the moment, Pogba receives around 290 grand a week. His current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. And earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. The other week, though, it said Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and sign a new contract worth 400 grand a week. Paul Scholes has backed Pogba to stay. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid $89 million for him. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. You've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back, but he's been out of form so far this season. Where's the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season, Luke Shaw was superb. I think as the season goes on, Luke Shaw will get the form back that he produced last season. Don't forget, Luke Shaw recently come back from a minor injury and illness. Shaw has had a good career at Manchester United despite his injuries. Shaw's been with us now for like 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez. He said at one point we were in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Shaw's got under 2 years left on his current contract. Shaw played yesterday against Leicester and he weren't too good, to be honest with you. You've got Wan-Bissaka, very good right back. He played against Leicester yesterday, wasn't too good. Lacked that attacking intent, made a rash challenge on Timothy Castagne. And looked in 6s and 7s for Leicester's 3rd and 4th goal. I've said to you before, though, that there's aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve, but despite that, he's still one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. This season is Bissaka's 3rd full season at Man United. We got Bissaka for $50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. You've got Harry Maguire. He's good when he wants to be. You know, he's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. He surprisingly played against Leicester yesterday, and Harry Maguire was abysmal. Obviously, he made howlers. I'd say he was accountable for Leicester's 1st goal and their 4th goal. But in general, it was just a poor performance by Harry Maguire. Ollie shouldn't have played him. Ollie rushed him back far too soon. You know, Maguire has just come back from a calf injury. He came off injured in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa earlier on this season. We overpaid for Maguire. We got him for 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive sign at the club. You've got Varane, that's a good centre-half as well. He's a miss for us though. He didn't play yesterday. Varane is out with a groin injury. He's out for a few weeks. Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. He went down holding his leg. He came off in the 43rd minute and he got replaced by Dayot Upamecano. You've got De Gea, that's a very, very good goalkeeper as well. He's done well so far this season. Made some good saves yesterday against Leicester, but he couldn't do anything about Leicester's equaliser from Tielemans. Dean Henderson's also a good goalkeeper as well. Bailly, a good centre-half, but he's going to find it extremely difficult to get in the team with the arrival of Varane in the summer transfer window. So there you go. And these quite a few players that don't even get in our 11, isn't there? Tellez doesn't really get in the team. Dalot doesn't really get in the team. Bailly and Lindelof obviously will find it hard to get in the team. Obviously when Varane comes back they will. But Lindelof will get his opportunities for now. Lingard doesn't really get in the team. I recently gave you the news on Lingard, didn't I? Lingard recently rejected a new Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Well, it said last month that Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer over playing time concerns. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season, and ESPN have said that Lingard is a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. Lingard did come on yesterday against Leicester. Martial, he doesn't really get in the team either. Cavani don't get in the team much at the moment. Juan Mata, he doesn't get in the team. Tom Eaton doesn't either. Like I said, we brought Tom Eaton in as a backup. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. I'll be back with more videos soon. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.